breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. There'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Look on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
What's up? We are back, our second day back from our crazy month of February. So welcome everybody to a Thursday edition of the Daily Brew. Hope everybody is doing well here, and I think everything's working. All right. It's always tough. We're streaming live on 4 platforms now, so kind of a one-man band here, so bear with me. I almost had the chat on TikTok figured out, but I didn't. Anyways, all right. So, good morning, everybody. This is Dog of the Day is Hunter. He was the one walking around, so we'll give Hunter the spotlight today. We'll be back to Monday next week. Today is a big day, Morgan. Yes, it is 100 days to hurricane season. You probably are already seeing the hype. 100 days to June 1st, apparently. 100 days. But did you know that the National Hurricane Center does advisories starting May 15th. So the little blue 2-day outlook screens and the little gray 7-day out. Well, no, the gray 2-day outlooks, blue 7-day outlook maps will begin on May 15th. So not technically 100 days. Doesn't mean anything. We've had a lot of storms in the month of May. It's not very uncommon at all. But what it does, let me tell you, we get a storm in May, media goes wild. Oh my God, it's a storm in May. And everybody gets all panicky. And then we get a lull through July and everybody's like, oh, the season's a bust. Then all of a sudden things pick up in August. Oh my God, the season. So the roller coasters of hurricane season. Not uncommon to get an early season system. Especially this year, I predict we'll get one definitely because the waters are hot. There's only a few ingredients storms need. One of them is hot water. Waters are already 81 degrees in the big part of the Caribbean. So anyway, this is called our Daily Brew. Welcome to everybody that might be new. We have a lot of great supporters of our page. The Daily Brew brought to you by our good friends at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. This is our Friday edition. So if you're living in Florida, please visit ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Great supporters of our page. We love them very much. I am heading to St. Augustine for the Florida Man Games this weekend. So if you're going to St. Augustine, it's a pretty big deal apparently. The Florida Man Games. It's on Saturday. They have me doing a couple things with the OMG Wicks. So that'd be fun. So look forward to meeting a lot of folks up there. Apparently, I posted yesterday, there's a lot of people going tomorrow. Or Saturday. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm doing the Cat 5 Cash Grab Machine host and hosting the mullet contest. And I do have my Ian replica mullet hat that I wore, that I lost during Ian. I'll be wearing it. So anyway, let's say hello to some folks. This is our live look at radar, satellite. Tremendous weather for many in the south and the east. We don't have a lot coming. I'm going to talk about next week's storm potential. We talked about it on Tuesday. It's official now. The Storm Prediction Center showing it. We're going to talk about hurricane stuff later on. I promise you that. So, anyway. Good morning, Miss Katie Haley. Good morning, Miss Beverly. Mark from Jupiter. Not the planet. Vivid Souders. Good morning. Michelle over in TT Land. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing. What's up, Mr. William Strunk from Hobe Sound? What's up, Richard Reamer? How's it going, man? Got your coffee running. What's up, Miss Morgan? Scott, James Fort, what's going on? Jeffrey Foster, good morning. Lou from Northeast Texas. I know you got some big heat coming, even next week, too. We showed it. You guys are going to be in the 90s in the South Texas. Crazy. Sean up Massachusetts. What's cooking? Cooking. Loretta Reed not ready for bad weather. Well, it was bound to happen. James, I got softball highlights. Emily posted opening night last night for the Hurricanes. Can you imagine my kid playing for a team that's called the Hurricanes? It's like fate. Hey, Alan Roberts, I'm going to be up there in St. Augustine. Oh, Beverly, this is Hunter. It's hard to get them apart now. This is the little guy. Dana from Gulf Breeze. Know where that's at up in the upper Gulf. Margaret up in the Space Coast. Lisa from Boston. I love me some lobsters. Yes, AT&T is out of coverage right now. That's the big news right now. Little trick on cell phones. Did you know? I did not know this. I learned this on our cruise. But if you switch your phone to Wi-Fi calling, you can make a phone call without cell phone service as long as you have Wi-Fi. Did you know that? I did not know that. Very important to know that. I haven't tried it with my Starlink yet, but wouldn't that be something else? During a hurricane, if you need to call and towers are down, you can use old Starlink for Wi-Fi calling. Yeah, Dustin, not sure. James, nope, she switched schools. Long story. Excuse me. But she's very happy. She's rounding out her senior year, going to college next year. Played second base last night, and I'm okay. All right. Well, let's think about a Hunter. Hey, by the way, we might start doing a merch drop on Fridays. If you like, if you like this hat, we've been selling these in the Brew Crew now for about a year, but I think I just found a dozen or so more, so we might be doing a merch drop. Once they're gone, they're gone. I'm working with Dusty on stuff like that, so we're going to make Friday merch drop day. We're going to come up with some cool stuff, specials, discounts, just for everybody. And we, of course, offer special things to the Brew Crew first. But we're gonna get these hats out because I got to make room in the garage. So watch for that. All right, bye-bye, Hunter. Let's talk about weather. Wetter, wetter, wetter. First, I got to show you this, though. So last weekend, I was invited up to Lowe's, and they gave me this. I just unboxed it today, but isn't this cool? Look at that. It's the Lowe's Disaster Response Semi. Look at that. Coming at you. Whoa. So I was pleased to do some stuff for Lowe's. Hoping to do some more with them. Might be going to see the Hurricane Hunters in Houston again. Hoping to get Lowe's a sponsor of our webpage. It'll be great. Be great partners in the storm industry. Thanks to Furman sending me up there with them and talking weather and hurricanes. All right, here we go. Let's talk about weather. Hurricane season starts, Steph, officially June the 1st, but May 15th we start to get updates. And like I said, it's not uncommon to get a storm in the month of June. Who is this calling me now? Excuse me. I don't know. All right. Here we go. Weather, weather, weather. All right, so here is a cool map. All these maps you can find on spaghettimodels.com or mikesweatherpage.com. So this is a 3-day outlook kind of showing you a front. So we do have a front coming down. Today it's starting in the middle part of the U.S. It's going to pass through Florida. It's going to pass through the East Coast Friday. Pretty much long gone by the weekend. It's going to be a little lingering moisture in the mountains over the weekend. A little bit of snow possibly in your higher elevations Saturday morning. So tomorrow night you might get a little snow flurries up in the mountains. Nothing major. But a flurry is a flurry. Flurry is a flurry. So that's what the map looks like for the next 3 days. Here is rainfall totals for the next 3 days. And by the way, if you do not have your official Louis Cup, shame on you, because this is what started it all about 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. Shelly, how long we've had this cup now? At least 5 years. Louis was the official. We had this cup before Hunter was born, so at least 3.5 years ago. Josh, thanks for the stars. What's up with 313? Is that your merch? Is that your zip code maybe? I don't know. 7 years? No way. Maybe when he was a puppy. All right, rainfall total maps. All right, so you know what the light green means? Zippo. How do you even measure? 0.01 inches. Well, anyway, the lightest of the lightest of greens. And Jonathan over there, are you watching? Jonathan from South Carolina, he posted on X that he was colorblind. It's the lightest shade of gray, Jonathan. But light green, light green is 0.01 inches. I mean, how do you even measure that? That would be like a sprinkle. The next shade of green is 0.1, a tenth of an inch. It doesn't. You have to get to blues to get a half of an inch. So the bottom line is this: the next 5 days rain is here. This is through the weekend, through Monday, and other than middle part of the U.S., mid-Atlantic there, north of Tennessee there, nobody's going to get a lot. Maybe a couple little isolated half inch here and there. But anyway, this front line that's coming is not a very big one. So there's that. But we do have this coming. Let's talk about this. So we teased this on Tuesday. It looked like, and I've been posting it a little bit. Southwest Louisiana, what's up, Bobby? Katie. Williams got the cup. Cheers to the cup. God, I wish I could get everybody to send a cup picture. That would be awesome. We could do like a collage of Louis cups. That'd be awesome. But anyway, here's what we got cooking. All right, so the next severe weather outbreak appears that is midweek next week. This is Tuesday and Wednesday. It's bound to happen. You can't stay stable forever. When the temperatures start to get high, then it's eventually going to happen. So here's our next outbreak. Tuesday, Wednesday. Begins on Tuesday through the night into Wednesday. And Wednesday's getting awfully close to the Gulf Coast. We have a lot of people in the Gulf Coast. So midweek next week, definitely something to watch. We're going to look at the timing of that and kind of show you now what's going on. Morgan, you need the cup. I saw a cute little video of must have been a miniature horse that had to be this big. I don't even know. It was on TT. I'm afraid to say it. Hey, Paul, long time no see, buddy. Paul, longtime Brew Crew member. We talk hurricanes in our Brew Crew. Remember, we're crowdfunded. We got a little Brew Crew site for supporters. A little bit, everything helps what we do here. Paul's been a big supporter a lot of years. And Lori, I see your post. I do not know anything about it. I hear a lot about it. Cruise is coming, by the way. Let's talk about the cruise. All right, so Bob. All right, so here's what we got. Let's look at hour by hour. We're going to talk hurricanes here in a little bit, I promise. 100 days of hurricane season. All right, so here's kind of what we're cooking at. And by the way, we got some folks in Bermuda watching. Here is kind of this is the current look of what's cooking out there. We had a little line pass through Bermuda overnight, so you probably had a little bit of action overnight, it looks like, late last night. Maybe more of the evening hour last Wednesday, but that's a current look at what's going on if you're curious. And that's not really much. But here's the hour by hour. Let's talk about that. Oh, there's teasing hurricanes. All right, so here's what we got. All right, here's that front coming. This is light rain. This is later this evening. This is tonight, p.m., 6 p.m.-ish. There's your line. There's your frontal line. Very weak frontal line tonight. It will work its way overnight here. This is about midnight tonight, overnight tonight. And little drips and drops, splitters and splatters overnight tonight. And then when you wake up tomorrow, here's Friday morning. There's your frontal line, weak rains, very light rains. Don't let the green fool you. No big squall line, anything. Nothing looks severe. As we make our way through tomorrow, here's Friday early afternoon. There's where your rains kind of set in. So Friday will be rainy, cloudy, windy. Nothing like we just saw last weekend, though. It'll be moving, thank goodness. The difference was last weekend, our system was El Nino, and it was pumping up from the Pacific like this. And it was an endless flow of moisture that was feeding in from the Pacific. This is more of a front, and it's coming down and clearing out moisture with it, which brings beautiful weather for the weekend. All right, so tomorrow evening, there you go. Here's tomorrow night. So we got Friday night plans. Here's Friday night. This is Friday night, Friday afternoon, 6, 7 o'clock. There's your line. So we'll be rainy across peninsula in the East Coast tomorrow night. It does look like it clears out for most everybody. Here's Saturday morning, except for South Florida. Very light rains tomorrow or Saturday morning. Little bit of lingering behind, as always, as you get a backside spin coming down, and as this cold air kind of rushes in, you get a little bit of moisture fed in behind it, and sometimes the higher elevations get some snow. So Friday night into Saturday, there could be some flurries in your normal flurry spots. Saturday noonish, there you go. There's a little bit of lingering backside, so it is going to kind of bring a little bit more. But as we get into Saturday night, it's gone. Sunday looks beautiful. This is Sunday morning. Look at that. Sunday morning, nothing coming down. And there you go. Teresa's going on our cruise. Awesome, Teresa Sampson. Nice to know you're coming. Meet you. And by the way, officially, we are not doing spring break next year. A little tease. Vet, I do believe we're going to see some storms. Usually, they don't do anything enhanced until day 3 at the earliest, usually. I don't know how far south it'll go, but always early on, any day 4, day 8 outlook from the Storm Prediction Center is definitely something to pay attention to because they don't issue those very often. But anyway, we're all excited. I met some people at Daytona that were going. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's talk about next week's system. Here we go. All right, so we fast forward. It's obviously you believe it or not, everything that happens in Dixie Alley, Tornado Alley, Upper Gulf, East Coast, it all starts in the Pacific. And here it comes. So here it comes. You can see it brewing. Big old moisture mess. So there you go. This is next Monday. Big old sloppy mess. A lot of snow out west. More rain for California next week. This is Monday. blah, 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 blah weather. And here it comes. All right, so let's fast forward to Wednesday morning. All right, there's Wednesday morning. So a couple things here. This is a cool map here on weathernerds.org. Weathernerds.org. You can do overlays. I overlaid pressure. You can overlay 500 millibars, 700, but this is a precipitation map with overlay low pressure, and it basically shows you where the low's at, and it's 988 over the Great Lakes. So typically, in order to have really strong storms in the south, you need this low pressure to dip a little bit more down. So it's all about this dip. How far down does this low pressure dip? But we do have this area of storms looking very possible Wednesday. And then it kind of makes its way throughout the day Wednesday. And then we're starting to see Wednesday night reaching down to the Gulf. Or excuse me, yeah, this is Wednesday night. Down into the Gulf. So starts early Tuesday. You know, so they're showing Tuesday, but it'd be really late Tuesday. This is more like Tuesday night, overnight Tuesday. This is Wednesday morning, and this is Wednesday night, p.m. So there's your line to watch. And we're going to see if there's any severe weather. Wednesday, 984 pressure. Important to note, though, this low, remember they spin, and when these low pressures spin, they pull in a lot of cold Arctic Attic air, and look what happens. Lots of snow there across the upper Great Lakes. So if you're living up there, Louis looking right at me. Wisconsin, you could get a lot of snow. So there's that. Oh my God, I can't read all your. Stephanie, yes. Well, there you go, Stephanie. See, the reason we're not doing a spring break cruise is selfishly Emily's going to be playing a lot of softball for college, and I don't want to miss it. That's the truth. Michelle, I do not have any info on the AT&T phone outage, but I heard it's more than just AT&T now, so I don't know. That's a developing story. Mark, I'm reading your comment, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but it's great to see you back. Long post there. I'll try to catch up on it. I can't really read it all on my screen. Good to see you, though. All right, so this is it. This is what we're looking at. Tuesday, Wednesday, next week. Then we'll pay attention to that big snow. This is going into Thursday morning. So the SPC isn't showing Thursday yet, but there's our line. Could be strong storms Wednesday night of next week, going into Thursday morning. Classic strong squall line. I don't know. Low pressure is way up here. We'll see how strong it really is, but it does appear that at least Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon next week, there's our line. So that's our next big storm chance next week, a week from today, or a week from now, whatever, a week-ish. And look at that, Friday looks so. Hey. Growing up, every 7 days used to be a cold front, right? Look at this is Friday next week. And then Friday this week is right here. Here's Friday this week. Almost 7 days apart. A little faster, but you get the idea. Hey, Shelly, it's funny. So a couple years ago, I noticed watching a video how loud the mouse clicker was. So I was on a mission to find a quiet mouse, and it does not make noise. So when I was up at Charlotte, Mooresville with the Lowe's guys and gals and my Furman crew, I have a regular mouse in my computer bag, and I noticed how loud the house was quiet. It was like... and I was early working, and every time I clicked, I felt guilty. Like, oh my God, they heard me. Click. Oh my God. So I was covering my hand. I was trying not to make the click sound. It was so loud. I'm like, oh my God, the whole house is echoing. So quiet mouses rule, by the way. Martha got a stacking ring. Jason, what's up, buddy? Oh my God, you heard me clicking. I was seriously worried about that. I even I was like, oh my God. We are not bringing back the click. No. We click wildly during hurricane season. So it is 100 days to hurricane season. So two things you're hearing in the news right now. One is this. Okay, so man, I was just as guilty as anybody else posting preseason hype, and I realized it does not go very well. Weather Channel posted today 100 days of hurricane season, and they posted like, this is things to worry about. 99% of the comments were pretty much bashing that. So I am not going to post anything publicly about an active hurricane season, because I've learned that sometimes they don't pan out. It only takes one. You never know what you're going to get. It's silly in February to get everybody worked up. But that being said, I went into great detail on Tuesday why it could be an active. I consider Daily Brew like our little intimate sessions of weather talk, okay? It's a lot different than posting, because when you post a graphic, it's just different. The lives are different. Posting stuff goes viral, and then all of a sudden turns into debate. Shelly has to delete a lot of comments. We get a lot of people getting feelings hurt, and it's just not worth it. So, but Tuesday I went into great detail about why this season's hurricane numbers are going to be through the roof for preseason predictions, whether or not they happen or not. But Weather Bell, Joe Bastardi already predicted extremely active hurricane season. AccuWeather they got bashed big time, AccuWeather, because they posted some verbiage that was like super hyperactive hurricane season. Nobody liked that. Weather Channel's talking about it. My buddy Ryan Mayu on Weather Models is talking about it. So it's, and I'm not going to go into everything I did on Tuesday, but basically comes down to three things. Waters are hot. We got La Nina, and the precipitation forecasts are way higher. So that's all. But I do want to show you something that I posted today. All right, so yesterday I shared this graphic. Now, it went pretty good. Went pretty good. I was so worried people were going to see the graphic and get worried. I usually have to delete it because everybody's, oh my God, hurricanes. So I made it clear, not current. But the point of yesterday's post was, more than anything, these are cone graphics from the National Hurricane Center 3 days from landfall for Ian and Irma. Okay. Now there's a similar one for Laura I wanted to share, but we were just talking about this one because they stand out the most for me as far as people's reactions. But we're going to go into this great detail real quick. Then we're going to call it a day. So we did a commercial for Oldsmar yesterday. It was pretty cool. They're doing a nice segment on, storm surge. Hey, Jamie wants to know about Michigan. Yes, so there is a big storm system coming next week. You're going to get the backside of this thing. So timing for Michigan looks like about, I'd say like midweek, maybe Wednesday. Could get some snow on the backside into Thursday. So, yes, there's a pretty big system. And low pressures for Michigan. 988 pressure I'm seeing, which is going to bring a lot of wind. Anytime you get land pressures below 990 millibars, it's a lot of wind. A lot of wind. So, there's that. Let me... Oh, first time ever hear you talk about what? What's that, Mom? What did I talk about? Talk about. All right. So the important thing with this. All right. So the reason I put this post out yesterday, this is a little different than the one yesterday. 3 days from landfall, Ian cone, the center of the cone, was well west of Tampa and all of Florida West Coast. 3 days out. 3 days out. The emotions of that shift were tremendous. I heard it firsthand here. People, oh, the cone shifted west. We're safe. We're safe. People's reactions respond to that cone shift every 6 hours like you will not believe. And I probably am the same way. You know, a little shift, you're like, oh, it shifted, you know, for the good or the bad. But the important thing is, and I know you hear it, but these two graphics hopefully show it, the cone is anywhere that the eye could go, okay? And these two storms prove that more than anything. So people in, you know, South Florida, obviously most people saw that shift and they're like, thought they were in the clear. Rightfully so. But my goodness, what a difference a couple days made, right? So what I did today, everybody asked, and I love questions. I read them. I can't respond to everything. Usually if I'm driving or whatever, it's really hard to type when I'm driving. So I love reading comments, the good ones. So what I did this morning was I imposed the actual tracks of Ian and Irma over the cone that was 3 days out. And if, you know, I almost wanted to measure it. It's almost the exact same distance of the error of the actual track versus the cone. But looking at, obviously, Ian last year, it's fresh in everybody's mind, or 2 years, 2 years ago. Obviously, it ended up on the east side of the cone. And what that also meant, too, tremendous effects in the Naples area, obviously, Marco Island, you know, farther south, Keys. A lot of folks focus on that cone and they don't realize that the effects are well outside that cone. So it's definitely very confusing to people. When they see that cone, they don't realize that A, that is where the center of the storm can go, and B, there's effects way outside that cone. And we saw that big time with Ian. So when we were looking at spaghetti models for these storms, there were always outliers that showed, well, actually, Ian, there's a lot of ensembles. We won't get into that. But there was always spaghetti models showing that potential Southwest Florida track. So bottom line here was, as long as you got spaghetti models and outliers, you have to pay attention. And that is not hype. Real life stuff. 3 days out, this storm went way east. Just 3 days out. Now let's look at Irma. 17. 3 days out, it was supposed to skirt the Florida East Coast if you followed that center line. There were outliers that actually went to the Florida West Coast 3 days out. Everybody was focused on Miami northward, obviously. Nobody was talking about the Florida West Coast. The cone, however, showed the Florida West Coast. Irma did not make that hard right turn. There was a high pressure building in, which normally happens living in Florida, you know. High pressure dominates over the Atlantic. The high pressure kicked in, pushing Irma farther west, and it turned quite a bit later than expected. Went to the Keys, obviously. South Florida went right up the heart of Florida's peninsula there, really close to Tampa Bay area. So, you know, again, 3 days out, everybody focused on the line. Guess what? It ended up turning later and ended up. Now, Laura, there's a very interesting story with Laura. Laura was going straight up towards Louisiana. Originally, it was supposed to head more maybe center of the state, about 2-3 days out. It made a significant shift more towards Texas, Louisiana, you know, that direction a couple days out. If everybody remembers Dorian was first expected to cross into Florida, and it stopped 3-4 days out. It was supposed to go through the state. So I guess the bottom line is 3 days out, it's crunch time. Like, that is when we really need to digest what's going on, because 3 days out is only 3 days out. I mean, you have to be thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? Do I have gas in the car? Florida Division of Emergency Management's tagline is, halfway full, halfway there. I think that's what it is. Halfway. They got a beer. But bottom line is keep your gas tanks halfway full because then that gets you halfway there. Get an idea where you're going. The new thing with evacuations, which is so smart, is the experts are only advising people to evacuate inland away from your evacuation zones. That could be 5 miles, 10 miles, 15, 20 miles. I think what everybody learned during Irma was they left the state and traffic was unbelievable. Gas was nowhere to be found. People evacuated Charlie, went to Orlando. Guess what? They got hit harder in Orlando. So for safety, the point of evacuating is your safety. You're probably not going to escape a storm in Florida unless you drive forever. And then getting back home is terrible. So the new thing is evacuate to a friend, to a family, to a hotel. Get away from the water. 85 to 90% of all hurricane deaths are water related. That would be inland flooding and surge. So stay away from the water. Inland flooding is just as serious as surge. People saw it during Ian, the Florida East Coast over around Port Orange. We were talking to residents when we did our Lowe's meet and greet with Furman and Dawson Cram and our good buddy Billy Mookie from Paratech and Frank Dalton there with Coastal Claims. We were all there at the race, and we met a lot of residents from Port Orange, and all they talked about was Ian and the rains that came in, and 20 plus inches of rains that nobody talked about. It was in the forecast, but so much focus is on a Cat 4, Cat 5 possible hurricane making landfall. That is the focus of the media because that's what everybody, the cat is what rules. And not a lot of, trust me, I got friends in Arcadia that had no idea the effects that they were going to see. The rivers rose, the winds, Cat 3 winds in Arcadia. So many people told me, and I've heard this story a bazillion times. I'm not joking. Bazillion, maybe not. That might be a little extreme, but maybe a million. Inland effects like Michael, Cat 3 winds in Alabama and Georgia. The cotton farms, the pecan trees down, the cotton farms. Like everybody focuses on the coast, but my goodness, the effects inland are tremendous. And, that's something that I always try hard to bring light to. Talking about Idalia, Jason's watching us. Jason's fast team, Furman has a team that goes around to places and helps folks with generators. They saw damage all the way to Valdosta, trees down across Interstate 10. Again, like storms don't stop at the landfall. So these are things that we need to always make sure. But this is the point of this one. 2 storms in Florida, recent memory that made shifts in that cone. So, I know people joke and, the cone, nobody get it right. Well, it's Mother Nature. I mean, I'm really surprised with Ian. Here it is, 2022, right? And the storm still did what really, I don't think they really expected it to do. I could write a book about Ian. I got a video on YouTube I'll share again one day warning people that I had a gut feeling this thing was turning Florida West Coast. Prepare, because at the time everybody was focused on the Panhandle. We had GFS throughout the year was terrible, and the GFS, in my opinion, skewed the cone that direction. All year long we were tracking the GFS. We made jokes about the GFS. Well, the Euro ensembles in Euro was spot on, and the UK was spot on. And there wasn't enough weight put into those realities that model probably was an outlier and probably should have been ignored. Enough about that. But Renee, no hurricane brewing except for hurricane drinks. But yeah. So anyway, anything else we talk about? 100 days is hurricane season. Yep, Shelly brought up. Can you believe it? We got our cruise coming up. Oh my God, we got some great fans going. Katie, Eric, Teresa over on YouTube. Ella's over there asking, No, we do this weather show daily. I just started streaming over there because I can. I just figured it out. So we'll be live. And if you go to my website, right here, I tried it. This is something new this year. New link alert, Sarah. Or Sarah. I just called Shelly Sarah. I'm the worst name person in the world. I still call Jason Greg. I call Julie Emily all the time. Now I just called Shelly Sarah. This is new. So I'm trying to put our next daily brew right here on the website. Right there. Right there's a big arrow. So next daily brew Thursday. Oh, and I didn't change the date. God. It's like you can't teach old dogs new tricks. I got the date right Thursday, but I didn't change 220. Jeez, I'll have it right by next year. Oh my yeah. Well, anyway, I'll try to fix that. So anyway, we'll be live next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hey, listen, May 15th, we go daily, Monday through Friday. Now, there's going to be days that we don't. I got the Gulf Coast Jam coming up the end of May, first part of June. We're going to be doing a special live from Panama City Beach, home of my good buddy Mark Sheldon, and the Gulf Coast Jam. We're going to be on the stage there doing a June 1st special. That'll be cool. And then that week, I'm flying to Oklahoma for my good friends from OSR here. Tammy Kent and crew are flying me up for a big hurricane conference. So big props to them for another year of support. I really appreciate that. They are a great family-run, operated company and do a lot for the storm community and us. And we love them to death. So I'll be doing that for one day. Talking to their folks, they're the first ones on the scene. Professional damage assessors, linemen, wire down watchers. They're the ones that come in first after a storm and they point like, you go here, you go there. This is where we got problems. All this stuff goes on with storms. I had no idea a few years back. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. Incredible. And I'll tell you, the other one of my longest running website sponsors here, Lodging Solutions. So Tammy and company and Powerline companies, they call our friends at Lodging Solutions. Like, let's say Duke Power. We need 5,000 beds, right? So Lodging Solutions builds an overnight city. It's the most, you've never seen anything like this ever, right? They come in with these massive tents, trailers. They cook 5,000 meals a day. They have restrooms, linens, complete city. Because when you have a storm and you have more than just linemen, you have, just everybody in the emergency response world needs places to stay. And there's not that many hotels. Sometimes the hotels are damaged. Sometimes, most of the time, the hotels are actually full from residents that are evacuating. So they build these massive tent cities. Now they have semi-trucks that sleep dozens of people. It's crazy. So the whole storm world is something that's just something that I just am fascinated with. Hanging out. I'm looking at my card here. I got to put this in my truck because I have a rubber band stack of cards that I've collected through the years. Chris is the new... Let me cover up his contact information here. I don't want anybody calling him. Be like, Mike, why'd you give my number out? Or Clint, excuse me. As I say, I mess up names. Clint is the new Volusia County EOC director. And what they go through with operations and cities and what they have to do, you just would not believe it, man. It's like NASA. Like every... Volusia County has this massive, it looks just like NASA as far as space control, mission control there. They have representatives from every agency, every city, fire, police, government, FEMA. This is, you just can't believe it. So anyway, Anyway. So, that's about it. Oh, Sarah just texted me. She can't really type, but she tries her voice thing. So yesterday, Sarah wanted tuna. This is what we do all day. So I don't know what she just said, but she just tried to text me something. They're close. I can't really read it on my phone. It says, "Hey Dad, they're close. The close of A." She wanted hot tuna last night during softball. She kept texting me. This is usually what the texts are. Like a bunch of letters. You see, you can't really read it. Oh well, you get the idea. This is a white screen. Or you kind of see it. I don't know. Well, here. Went that far. I might as well just keep on going with it. Let me turn the light off. No, there you go. There's all letters. She just types a lot of letters. But I got hot tuna right. She wanted hot tuna, or I guess that's a place. Hot tuna, I don't know. Dusty just says he got something right. Oh. Anyway. So, that's about it. Let's see if Dusty sent me. No, we're working on our 2024 shirt. So I was thinking that's what he mentioned, but we didn't get it. So anyway. Well, anyway, anything else we can talk about? So, cell phone outages are big news right now. I guess that's happening all over the place. Mine's working. I'm on T-Mobile. What's up, Mr. Dave Waters? Good morning. Let's say some hellos here as we end it out here. Chris wants to know about our number 4 car. Well, you never know. We kind of tease the idea, maybe Furman guys and maybe Billy were talking about maybe another car. And I know Coastal Plains wants to do it. So, maybe. I'd love to see Talladega because we go there. Talladega's got a bazillion folks and campers. We have a really cool setup there. Lorena, good morning. What's going on? Kyle, appreciate the rose over there, buddy. Lindholm, that's awesome. Airboat sent me corn. I love corn. What's that mean? Wasn't there a song? Oh, I love corn. Oh, anyway. All right. Well, that's about it for a wrap. So, again, we got a weak front coming through. Weather in a nutshell. Weak front coming through today and tomorrow. Most of it's out by Saturday. South Florida, a little rain, a little bit of lingering rains, and maybe Carolinas, maybe on Saturday. Sunday looks beautiful. Saturday afternoon, beautiful. Sunday looks beautiful. Next big storm system's Brew's on Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe Thursday for the south and east. So there is a big front coming next week we're going to have to watch out for. And anytime you get it that far out, but we saw it on Tuesday, so it's probably likely happening. It's just a long way away. This is Thursday, 10 a.m. next week. We'll just have to get the timing figured out. But there's the GFS, very, 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 very close. Speaking of the devil, Sarah just messaged me. This is what she texts. BF, BBD, and X1F, XIN. I'll send her a little happy face. She'll be happy. All right, that's about it. What was your tip about Safe Link connections? Starlink. Well, Marty, that was just make sure Wi-Fi calling is selected on your phones, because you can actually get pretty decent phone. You wouldn't even know the difference, honestly. I use it on the ship. So Wi-Fi calling is great. A lot of folks don't even know about it. There you go, Shelly. Yeah, we're looking at that spin over there by Bermuda. A little bit of low, trying to get caught up here. I saw this last week. I was wondering if it would become anything, but it's just going to kind of linger over there for a little while. Nothing really showing up vorticity-wise, but... Good morning, Lisa. Thank you. So, there you go. Anything else? softball highlights, James? Well, we could do that, I guess. She only had 2 hits last. Well, she had she had amazing. She played second base, had some amazing outs. So she 3 for 3 on her outs, which was great. You always worry about hard hit balls to the infield, especially when they're big girls now, coming at you a million miles an hour. Seems like it. All right, so here's last night's highlights here. Let's see. There's only 2 of them, but let's pull them full screen. All right, so there's 2 hits. I got these ready. So here we go, James. Just for you, James. Boom. There's a nice little. Those are the best, man. That launch angle to me is what you want right there. And this one bounced off the fence. It kind of curved too, man. It went right over the center fielder's head, hit the fence. So that's good. Stand-up double. Yeah. How about that? How about that? It's my happy place. All right. Well, appreciate y'all tuning in. Let's close out a couple big thanks. Here we mentioned Furman and ABC, obviously, and a couple others. I do want to mention our friends at Direct Remodels. They're local. If you live in the Interstate 4 corridor and you're looking for impact windows, hurricane windows, they offer 40% off. Please check them out. A couple of our neighbors in our neighborhood, our HOA, are actually getting them right now, believe it or not. So they are a huge company, just big fans of our page, and they want to do something special. So 40% off there, and our other local sponsor, Done Right Roofing, which is big supporters of East Lake, Palm Harbor softball. That's Sarah's school, East Lake. So we got 2 kids in 2 different high schools. Try to keep up with that. But big thanks to Done Right Roofing here in Pinellas County for all that they do, especially for our softball. So that'll do it for me. I attempting to drag our old boat out. I have not used it since before October, and I'm dreading this. So wish me luck on that. Haven't used it. It's like, oh, we were doing the commercial for Oldsmar yesterday, and we were on the water, and I was like, it is so beautiful outside. Like, I love it. I miss the heat. It was 70 degrees, and I was like, oh my God, it feels so good. So the goal is Whiskey Joe's later, and then come back before the temperature gets too cold. So Sarah and Julie are going to go see Annie, I think, at Ruth Eckerd Hall tonight. Isn't there something called Annie? Is it Annie? I don't know. They're going to a play. Call me a party pooper. They asked me to go, and I'm like, well, I do a lot. But I stop at Annie. Hey, somebody asked about Red Tide. I don't know. I have a Red Tide link over here. Believe it, I have a link for everything. You just have to find it. Red Tide, right here, boom. I found that so fast you would never even find it again. But it is on the site, Red Tide. I don't know. I don't see Red Tide. Where are you seeing Red Tide at? That's for Florida. February 16th. I don't know. I don't see any. Maybe somewhere else. I don't know. Red Tide Zoom. This is a cool, another page that has more of... Does it do more than just Florida? No, it's just Florida. But I don't see anything right now. We talked about that a lot last year. Bob Snow, good question. I am in Oldsmar, Florida, which is right between Tampa Bay and Clearwater. So there's that. Doty, good morning. West Coast, we need rain. Yep. Believe it or not, I don't think that we are out of the drought officially for Florida. Oh my goodness. This has been a story all year, last year. Not that it's a major drought, but still, it's kind of interesting. We still have a D1 drought, Pinellas, Hillsborough, Manatee, and Sarasota counties. kind of weird, really, if you think about it. Last year it was really red, D3, but I don't know why. That little part right there, still in a drought. So, Harold, good morning. Bob would like the storm chase. Need a storm first. Oh, I got new lights for the front of my grill. I always buy these blinky lights, and they didn't do very good in the water, so I put 3 new ones in yesterday. So, all right. Well, we're just going to keep talking. We got to go an hour. So, again, a lot of discussion on that. It's 100 days of hurricane season. Expect the season to be active. Very, very big signs. No severe weather coming. Let's talk about temperatures real quick. We do have a warm up. I want to show you this real quick because we do have, I think we have some pretty big temperatures expected for Texas coming up. Let's see. High temperatures. So today, high temps aren't too bad. Here's Friday, tomorrow. That's that front gets through. So nobody's going to see 80s tomorrow. That's amazing. Well, 81, little spot down in South Texas. Tomorrow, then on Saturday, though, let's see. Saturday about the same. High temperatures 70 across state. I'll be in St. Augustine Saturday for the Florida Main games. Sunday, oh, there's your big temperatures coming back. Holy cow, look at that. Upper 80s. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Upper 80s for Texas on Sunday. Monday, we got 90s. That's what I was looking at on Tuesday. Good, oh my goodness. We might even see 100 degrees South Texas. This is on Monday, February 26th. This is why storms are going to be brewing for Tuesday into Wednesday, because we got 70s way up north. Tuesday temps, same. Oh my God, it's hot. Here comes the front though. Boom. It's going to be back in the 80s. So Florida, you're going to be back in the 80s next Wednesday. Nothing till then. Next week, 80s. 80s in Georgia. 80s in Louisiana. Next Thursday, there's your cold front coming through. This is big storms. We're going to be watching for storms Thursday across the south and the east. Wednesday across Upper Gulf northward. And then there's our next cold front. Not a very big cold front at all. So, man, not a lot of precipitation. Not a lot of snow coming. Snow maps, if you're wondering, I don't see a lot. Now, the backside of this system next week could produce a lot of snow. Here it comes. This is next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So next week we could see some snow, maybe into Michigan. But look at that. Appalachian's nothing. This is like not even an inch. So there's really nothing. I don't think the South's going to get any snow this year. We're winding down. But hey, it's only February. It's happened before. But as far as 10 days out, we're not seeing much at all, if anything, as far as snow goes. So there's that. All right. Well, we did it. We made it an hour. Elaine's going to Sugar Mountain for spring break. Well, you never know. Today, you know what today is? National Margarita Day, by the way. See you, Richard. Hey, Kit Kat, great question. I'm glad you asked it. Morning, Mr. Chad Robbins. Where are you at now, Mountain to Sea Ministries? He's our coffee sponsor. I feel like I cheated on you, Mr. Robbins, because there's coffee company in Daytona. I was hitting them up. Thought of you. All right, so great question, Kit Kat over on YouTube. All right, so where do you go for past storm tracks? Let me do it over here because I don't know what's going to pop up in my search bar. So let's do Hurricane Dorian archive. Just type any storm archive, and you're going to get the very top results. Going to be this page right here. In fact, do I have it linked? I should have it linked. I don't know. So anyway, here it is. Hurricane Dorian archive. Every hurricane, the National Weather Service, National Hurricane Center has archives. Right at the very top, graphic archives. And You can go over here to the initial wind field, and that is the one that will give you the exact track. And I always hit the back arrow. So here's the official track of Dorian. And again, it's up here, other graphics, initial wind field. You go ahead and hit the last image, and that'll give you the whole track. And I'll tell you what, the cone with Dorian, let me tell you something about Dorian. Dorian, we knew the waters in the Atlantic were so hot. So hot. And the NHC was in a bad spot because they expected Dorian to cross over Hispaniola, which would have disrupted Dorian quite a bit. But it didn't. And they expected it to dissipate into a depression. But the history shows that it split the gap. It actually went a little north, I believe. So this is another example of how important it is to pay attention to the ongoing evolution of a storm, because look at depression over the Bahamas. We know that wasn't the case. It was Cat 5 over the Bahamas. And officially it was expected to be a depression because it was expected to go over Hispaniola. It didn't. And it got strong. So then the track went a little to the north, and this is the one that always kind of really gets me going, is this one right here. This one right here. This is really, really pointing out things can change, right? So 5 days out, it was expected to be a tropical storm. And as we know, it ended up being a, Cat 5 monster. So, didn't happen. It split the gap. It's supposed to be a storm still 5 days out. Storm 5 days out. But if you followed us back then, we threw a lot of scenarios out there. There was a lot of models starting to show this thing really intensifying. A lot of hot water over here, and a lot of hot water, and it happened. It intensified. You kind of knew it was going to intensify. I don't know. It did, but at the time they didn't think it would. And then we didn't get an H for a while. It went over Puerto Rico. Look at this. Dorian was supposed to be a tropical storm all the way through its cycle here. Crazy, right? It's amazing. And then finally it went to hurricane. And then it went to major hurricane. So just a couple days. So here's the 11 a.m. Wednesday forecast. Here is the 11 a.m. Tuesday forecast. So what a difference 24-hour made for Dorian. So Dorian at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, the official forecast was expected to be a tropical storm just off the coast of Florida here. The forecast on Tuesday. Fast forward 24 hours to 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Goes to a major hurricane. And look at the track difference. One time, look at that. Boom. Went around a high pressure system to the south. But look at that. Look at that. It went straight north. Whereas a couple days before that, it was supposed to go, way, differently there. So what a difference. But that was a long answer to your question. On where to find graphics, so. Anyway, all right. Hey, we made it an hour. What did I say publicly? Yeah, James, it's Palm Harbor Hurricanes. You can watch them on Game Changer. Palm Harbor Varsity Hurricanes. Oh, Ralph, you could have stopped by, buddy. Saw you at the race, man. I love hanging out with people, man. I always take time to hang out. Sometimes too much. Anyway. Kit Kat. The only thing I did was I got a editing program, and I erased the colors and left the black dotted line and tried to scale it to be the same size as the states, so that it was true to form. So. All right. Well, that's it. Been an hour. We got you. We'll be back Monday. Hope you have a great weekend. If you're going to the Florida Man games, hope to see you there. Michael Tucker, look at that. Yeah. So my mom and dad, I grew up on Nebraska Avenue. My mom and dad still live there. And I made a tree house in one of the oak trees in my dad's front yard. It's 85. I signed my name in my dad's driveway in 1985, and it's still faintly there. And by the way, I'm doing the Palm Harbor Hurricane Expo with my buddy Dennis Phillips. We should do it live together. Let's do a live together. Me and Dennis. Hopefully he would like to do that. Let's text him right now. Let's see if he texts me right back. So yeah, Palm Harbor's near and dear to my heart. I rode my bike to Palm Harbor Middle School every day. All right, let's see if Dennis texts me back, and then we'll say you heard it here first. Yeah, so Palm Harbor, man, I mean, Mom and Dad moved here in '85, and oh my God, the dirt road was next to us. Was it 19th Street? It was a dirt road. I used to race my RC Grasshopper up and down that road. But anyway, yeah, so we're doing the Palm Harbor Expo, and then I think a week or two after that is Oldsmar. One of the ones before the other. But I'm doing 2 expos here locally. So anyway. So let's see what else is going up. Yeah, phones are down. Well, heck, maybe I didn't even send out the text. I don't even know. We'll see. We'll give him 1 minute to respond. Maybe he's watching. He's like, we're just going to make him wait. Morgan, that means a lot. Listen, there's a lot. You follow everybody. I'm just one little piece of the weather world. Palm Harbor Expo. God, I wish I knew. Oh, I do know, because Julie does my Google calendars now, because I have to have a calendar, because I have so much crap going on. I think it's in May. So, it's a Saturday. May the 11th. May 11th, Palm Harbor Hurricane Expo. And then Oldsmar is April 27th. So April 27th is the Hurricane Expo in Oldsmar. Then May 11th is the Hurricane Expo in Palm Harbor. Free to enter. And that'll be fun. So. All right. We got it. That's it. All right. Well, I didn't get my message back, so bummer. I'm sure he's sleeping. Oh, we got to bring it on. Oh, we got to extend it a little more here. Let's see what it looks like. You guys will see the first draft of Bring It On 24. First draft. We always do a 2024 shirt with the names on it. Haven't had any new merch in a while. We're going to try to keep it a little less cartoonish. Here it comes. 63%, 70%, 85%. Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, I can't load it. Never mind. Let's try to load something. No, that ain't working right. Dusty, it didn't come through. Darn it. I see one of them though. One popped up. I think my internet's slow. Probably gotta open it on my PC. Anyway. All right. Well, here we'll be back Monday and watch for our merch drop. I gotta go count how many hats we got. I'll try to post that here in a little bit. And we'll see everybody. Have a great weekend. All right. We'll do it again Monday. We'll start counting down this big severe weather event that looks like we're having middle of next week. That'll be the next storyline. All right. So cheers. Have a great day. We'll see you. See you next time. All right. See you. Oh, my camera's white. I didn't do a good job. I should have looked at myself today. Why am I looking like that? I am not. I am tan. Oh, see, that's better. I didn't even look at all day today. I was looking there. That's. Oh, maybe it's the hat throwing things off. It's too late now. See it.